up here on the whiteboard, that's great timing. I put a list of our, or at least a beginning list of things to cover today. But with that, again, looking at the technology I have in our classroom and that you have in your classroom, there might be a better way, or better is not necessarily the right word, but I can use technology so that instead of leaving it up here on the whiteboard so when students leave my class, I can actually post that as a resource out for students to go back and refer to as a review, or if students happen to miss my class, and they can pull it up and see those notes. So to do that, what tools have we talked about so far, or where would you go to start to create this list somewhere where students would be able to access it and see it later? What's that? Okay, so I could do it as an announcement. So I could go through and just in my big campus post it as an announcement. But remember, I'm limited to about 160 characters in my announcement. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get everything I want there. Okay, so what would I have to do before I could post it under resources though? So create it. So where would be the best place to create it? Okay, where in the cloud? SkyDrive. Excellent. So I can go to SkyDrive and just pop open Word right on the app, and actually right here in class as we get started I can create a living document that I could also share out with my class so they could be seeing it either on my projector or they could go back again and see it back at home on a computer, or again with our high school teachers, once the laptops show up, kids would have access to it right there as you're teaching in class. So I'm just going to start with SkyDrive. So I went into Outlook, logged into Outlook.com like we do. I'm going to click on the Office link here and just do a new Word document. Okay, and so again right here on the fly and in the cloud I can create the document. Where do I want to save that? Oh, first thing is the name. So I'm just going to put down call it class notes and give it a date. Okay, and again up here I've got some nice formatting options where I've got some pre-built formatting if I want to use those. I can give it a heading. Okay, come down and so we'll review adding videos. Okay, and then I need to get okay, so now I've created that same document and I can save it. And I can go to File and Share, okay? And again, I have the same options that I have as if I do this from the menu, the file menu when we see it. And so I can click on get a link. And if I wanted you to be able to go in and edit it and add items to it, I could do the view and edit option. I'm going to go ahead and do that, no reason not to. Okay, and now I've got a link that I can share out with the rest of the class. So now I can go into our My Big Campus page. And come down to our group. And I think posting that as an announcement is an excellent idea. So I can just say, okay. And so just type in a little bit of an announcement, and then I can right click and paste that link in there, post it, and now you have access to it from My Big Campus. And you can actually go in and you should be able to even to add items to that if there were other items you wanted me to, that you wanted us to cover today. Okay, so quick review there of how, again, SkyDrive and My Big Campus could really work together to make a really effective tool for sharing documents and links out with your classes and keeping things up to date. So again, if we wanted to update that document now, I can make any changes to here, and as soon as I save it, that you'll get those updated changes. So really a nice advantage versus saving it and then uploading it to My Big Campus. Then I'd have to download it, make the changes, and send it up again. So because I'm doing it all in the cloud, changes happen in real time, and you get those in real time. So while we're on that topic, is there anything else you want me to add to the agenda today, or? Yeah, you bet. Okay, so we covered it in a slightly different way than we've done it before. Because I was inside of the document here, it set it back on our main menu, I just came up to File and clicked on the Share item under File. Okay. And that window's not popping up as, so I'm gonna, that's came up slightly different. So I just clicked on Share with more people. So here's our normal share menu. We have the email option, the post option, and the get a link option. Okay. And we have the option to do it as view only, view and edit, or make it public. And I chose the view and edit to give you a chance to add items to it if you'd like. And then I'm shortening that up and then just copying that. So right clicking on that and copying it. And that now gives me that on my clipboard, so I can go back and I can paste it in my announcements. Yeah, then you can just save it and close it. And so as long as you don't ever hit share on that, then people won't have a link to go in and see it. Yep, exactly. So let's actually look at that, Creed, and that's a good question. So because I did it from File a New Document, I really don't know where it saved this. So if I close it, I'll bet it's just going to drop it in my root folder. Yep. And I'd probably actually want to move this into my PD classes. So that'll be interesting to see if the link still works once I move it. So let's test that out. So I have it checked here. I'm going to click on Move To. Put on PD classes, Teaching with Tech. Click on Move. Okay. Now let's see if our link still happens to work or not. Nice. So that's even better. So even though I moved that folder, Microsoft was smart enough that they kept that link live so it didn't break the link, which is a really nice feature. I thought that there's a good chance that would break it. So. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Anything else on that?
Do that one more time.
The whole process?
Just that where you saved it, when after you hit save, where you went from where you hit save
Okay.
your document.
So we were inside. We're now inside of this one. Okay. And we have our teaching with text schedule. Okay, so under file, we did the share. Were you okay with the share? Did you want me to?
I want to save it, just
To save it? Okay, so I just did file, and we, I think we just went to close. I don't even have a save option there. Actually, that's the wrong document, isn't it? Let's pull up the other one. Oh, class notes, that's what it was. Okay, so here's our class notes. Okay, I'll just type in one other thing here so we can save it. Oh, so I need to click on Edit in Browser. Okay, now I can make a addition to it. Okay, so now I can come up to File and Save. Okay, File, and then I just closed it there. Okay, that'll now bring us back to our file view of it. And what I did is we just checked the box here and came over and clicked on the Move To option and then put it inside of the folder I wanted it to be in. That had dropped down, I didn't see it. So teaching with tech, and then I clicked on move. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, are we okay there? Okay, so last night, yesterday afternoon, I got an email from NNU, and they gave me all the information for us to register. So I posted that as an announcement. It's right underneath this one that I just barely did. And so I posted 3 things there. I don't know if you can see those 3 things or not, but I have the link to register with NNU, the class information that you'll need for NNU, and then their little step-by-step guide for it, okay? So I'm going to start down here on the bottom one and open that hyperlink first. Okay, so it's a PDF that's been uploaded, so I'll need to click on Download File, and I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to go back 2 steps. I'm going to do something slightly different here. A little trick to show you to maybe keep things more efficient. So is everybody back here on this page okay on our announcements? Okay. I'm going to use, instead of just clicking on it, I'm going to use my right click on it. So when I do right click, I've got a few different options. Then just opening it, I can open it in a new tab, and if I do that, it's going to put a new tab up here, or I can do it in an open new window, or I can download the target. So I'm going to just open it in a new tab. And so the reason for that is I've still got my announcements here with my other links that I need, but I've now got this document as well. So I can just flip back and forth between here and here by clicking on those tabs, okay? And so this will give us our step-by-step directions on how to sign up for the class, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing on these 2. I'm going to go ahead and do a right click on this document and open that in a new tab. Do you not? When you right click on it, you don't have that option? Don't tell me that. Anybody else have that option? top part's a picture, so it's going to give you different options if you click on it. Okay, so now I've got the document from NNU here on this tab that has our course information. I think really all we need on this is actually the course number, which is right here. Okay, I'll zoom in on that in a second.
That number that's up on the tab?
It's this, no, it's this one right here, this EDTC 579. Oh, it is the same up there. Yep, right there. Yep. Okay. And then the last link to click on, and again, I'm going to do a right click just so I keep my Big Campus page open, is the one to actually register. Okay, so if you're registering for credit, hopefully you can click on that in our announcements. That should take us to this site. How many of you have registered for a class with NNU online before? Okay, and I was going to say Connie has. So if you did, hopefully you have your username stored somewhere. If not, we'll have to see what happens. But we'll come to this page, so NNU's page where it says take a course. Click on get started. Okay. And I think down at the bottom, somewhere there was a search. Find a course. Okay. So here's find a course. And we'll do search courses. And I think you can just put in that number. So it should be oh, with Teaching with Tech it comes up. Excellent. Okay, so we can do.
Except it's got the wrong number.
That's what we want to watch and make sure. So let me. I don't know if they have interactive in there or not. Let's look at our title. Oh, it is. It's Teaching with Interactive Technology, so you may want to search it that way. Okay, so there it is. So if in the search phrase, if you put Teaching with Interactive, that should pop up the right one down here, EDTC 57904. And you should be able to click on that to register. Teaching with Interactive.
If you just type in interactive, you get it.
Okay, excellent. Okay, and once you're there, then you can click on register. But you do have to have a username and password to register. So you can sign up for one if you don't have one. We'll have to have her make more seats available.
57904, is that where I'm at?
Yep, 57904.
So you have to have a credit card or whatever.
Yes, so to register online, you'll need to have a credit card. Okay, so that puts it over here.
How did you get that? You just hit add to cart?
Yeah, clicked on add to cart. Okay, and then this is where it'll take you. There's a link if you forgot your password, a link if you need to create a new account, or the login if you already know that information. One of the main things that we covered yesterday was taking videos from from YouTube and adding them into My Big Campus so that you could stream them safely to your students. So again, the purpose for doing that is when you add videos to My Big Campus, then you don't have to worry about any related videos here on the side that could be inappropriate, or any comments underneath that could be inappropriate. So this particular one that I have up is very safe because I just uploaded it last night. Nobody's really been bothered to look at it, so I don't have to worry a whole lot about those other things. But for the most part, if I search for a video in in YouTube, there is a decent chance that I could get some inappropriate images over to the side. In fact, I might show you another quick example that Julie Berg from Bonneville showed us last night. But so yesterday I recorded our afternoon class. The morning one I had a few technical difficulties with, but we recorded the afternoon class and I posted it up to YouTube. So I've got it here in YouTube, and now I want to put it back onto our class page in My Big Campus. Okay. So really all we know is I have a video here in YouTube. Okay, I found the video I want, our Teaching with Tech Discovery, and I know I want into our group for My Big Campus. Okay, so what's the first thing I have to do to add it to My Big Campus? Anybody remember to add a new YouTube video to My Big Campus?
Go to library.
Excellent. Okay, so we click on library and add a new YouTube video. Okay, so again, the first step when we're taking anything off of the internet, okay, when it's not our own file, but we're going out to the internet and we're either grabbing a YouTube video or a website, the first step is we put it into the My Big Campus library so that it's there, and then once it's in this big library collection, we can grab that and put it into a specific place on our, either in our group or on our resources. Okay, so here's added a new YouTube video. And it's asking for the address for it, okay? And so that's the first thing I need to find is what's the URL, okay, which is this web address up here for that video. So here's our YouTube video, here's our address, so I can just click up in there, highlight it, right click on it and copy it. Okay, so now I have that address copied. I can come back to My Big Campus. Again, I'm just using those tabs to go back and forth quickly and paste it there. Now, a couple of, I guess, quirky things that I didn't explain very well yesterday is when you add either a YouTube video or a website, and I didn't think you had to do this for websites, but they put in some type of rule so you do. The next step is you always want to click Get Info, okay? I think a few people were skipping that yesterday. They were filling in the information themselves, and they were getting an error when they tried to actually add it at the bottom. So paste the address, click on Get Info, and then what that does is when you click on Get Info, My Big Campus sends out kind of some information seekers, and it tries to find, okay, here's the address you put in, so what's the title for the video? So it pulled the title from there, and then it comes down and tries to find out any other information about that video and add it to My Big Campus. So here's the description, so it's taking that description and it's putting it in there, okay? So that's what it does is when you click Get Info, it goes out and says, okay, what information can I find about this video or about this web page, and populate that for you. Okay, it also popped in a tag. I don't really need that tag in mine, so I'm going to drop that out and put in my own tags. Okay, and then My Big Campus wants us to categorize that so that we can not only that we can find it easier, but so that other people that might be looking for a video like that can also find it. Okay, I don't think I said anything inappropriate in class yesterday, so I can go pre-kindergarten to 12th grade and then click on Add. Okay, so now I've put it into the library. So it's there, and so everybody in class now, or any other My Big Campus user can go and they can search for Teaching with Tech Discovery streaming, okay, and they can view that in My Big Campus. So it's there for you, okay. But to really make it more accessible to you, I can take it a step farther, and I can try to do something to share it with you so that it's easier for you to find. So one option I have is I can add it to a bundle like we talked about yesterday, and apparently I've never done a teaching with tech bundle, so I ought to do that. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to that thought for a minute. Okay.
It's right there.
Oh, right there. Excellent. Thank you. So I can click on this, expecting to be in alphabetical order. So now I put it in a teaching with tech bundle, and as long as I've shared that bundle with you, then you'll have easier access to it. Okay. But there's a couple of other things I could do as well. So I'm going to come down to our group link over here. So I'm going to pull up our class here. Okay. I'm going to come to our announcements. And I'm going to go ahead and post an announcement to let you know that I've uploaded that video. So okay. So now when we did this from SkyDrive, I was pasting the link here, but because that video is actually inside of my big campus, I don't even have to bother with posting the link. I can post it, I can post the bundle to you if I wanted to do the bundle, the whole bundle. I could post just that as a library item. So I can put a library item. I can put in those keywords that I put in. So teaching with tech, discovery streaming, and search for it. Okay, and here's my video. And this does something kind of cool. When I post it this way, okay, and notice I clicked on it there and I didn't really see anything happen, but if I scroll down just a little bit farther, you can see it popped in right here. Okay, so now when I hit post, that video is actually right there on our announcement page, and you can play it right from there. Okay, so much easier for you to find now because all you need to do is come to our class announcements, and there's the video for Tuesday's class. Okay, and there's the one for Monday's class. Okay, so when you add something to the library, you have multiple ways that you can share that with your classes. And again, announcement is a great way to do it. You can do it again through your bundles. We could come here to our resources and here, okay, so I've got a couple of folders here, but this is just kind of a general one, so I could just say, let's add a library item to that and do that same search. This time I'm just going to put in the discovery streaming because I had that for one of my tags. Okay, and here's the video. And then I can just click on share the attached items there. Okay, and now we have it under resources as well. Okay. So again, so the first step is we take it off of the internet, we put it into the library, and then once it's in the library, it's there. So it's not like we are creating multiple copies of this video. We're just having multiple ways to get to the video. So the video's in one place. Actually, the video is still on YouTube. So now I'm clicking on this. This is actually showing YouTube's webpage inside of My Big Campus. So I actually haven't even physically moved anything anywhere. All I've done is let My Big Campus find a YouTube video to put here, and then like I said, I've just got multiple ways that in My Big Campus people can see that resource. Okay? And again, if we come to our bundles, and I click on my bundles, and I come down to teaching with tech. Okay, then I've got that video there as well. Okay? Yes?
Didn't you say yesterday that besides just putting it in the library, we should put it into your stuff so that it's there too?
So when you add an item, and this, I still don't know if this is a quirk. I'm gonna have to ask him this question, but let's see if it's there. Because my thought was if I added it, it should be there, and it is. So when I'm the person that goes out and grabs something from the internet and I put it in the library, it should automatically also appear in your stuff, okay? And then the other nice thing that they've done is if you try to add a YouTube video that's already there and it finds it, it will also kick it into your stuff so that you can see it there, okay? Now, and once it's there, I think we might have experienced this a little bit yesterday, once you add it, I think it's there. I don't know if you can ever go back and truly take something out of the library. And so, let's say if I added, like we talked about yesterday, if I added a SkyDrive document into the library, that link might always be here, but if I delete that item out, it's not going to go anywhere. And Tyler was experiencing that yesterday where he added a SkyDrive document, and then he's like, I don't know if I really want that there. And he tried to delete it, and it just stayed in my big campus. But if he deletes it in SkyDrive, then it's not going to go anywhere, if that makes sense. Okay? Is it still there today?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another question I'll ask them and see if there's any way you can actually totally get rid of something. But, okay. So, any other questions about taking videos from YouTube and putting them into My Big Campus? Or websites? Okay, they really work almost identically. Okay?
Scott?
Yes.
It's not automatically in the library if I save it in my stuff, in your stuff.
What's it?
If I want to save a SkyDrive document, or if I wanted to save a YouTube or a web page.
Right. So anything that's on the internet, okay? Anything that you add from the internet, so that would be either YouTube or a web page. And again, if you're sharing a SkyDrive document as a SkyDrive document, then it's a web page. Does that make sense? It's not really a Word file. It's really a web. When you do that share a link, it's taking that Word document and it's really turning it into a web page. So anything you're adding from the internet does go into the library.
So even if
Yeah.
I save my stuff, it goes automatically into the library.
Yeah, because even if I come to your stuff, okay, so I'm here on my stuff, and if I click add a YouTube video or a website, it does go into the library. If I do add a file though, it does not. So files are the things that I'm uploading, and those just stay in my space on My Big Campus. Those don't get shared with the rest of the world. But because everything else is out there on the web, it's putting it in the library because it's out on the web. If that makes sense.
You just, if you put it in my stuff, it's not out on the web, but then.
So, okay, so when we click on add here, okay, we have 3 different things we can add. So YouTube videos and websites, those are coming from the web. Does that make sense? So when you're bringing something from the web, those things go automatically into the library, but files do not. So if I'm uploading a PDF document or a Word document, if I actually upload my own file, like even my own video file up, then it's not going to go into the library for everybody to see. But these other 2 things will. Okay, because they're out there on the internet for everybody to see anyway.
I have a question about if I find something that's already in the library,
Okay.
and it's cool, and I want to save it, but I don't have a bundle for it yet.
Okay.
Is there a way to save it?
So
without
it
using
should
the
be in your stuff. So, but you're saying, okay, I found it here in the library. Yeah, this is going to be one I ask him here in 2 weeks as well. But I'm just going to grab this one from Marzano. So I'll show you the workaround because I only found like one kind of cheat to do this. So I have this video And you're right, the only thing I can really do is add it to a bundle, okay? And so actually now that I'm here, I can think of two workarounds. One, they used to have a link where you could say, add it to my stuff, and they don't have that link anymore. So what you might do is you might just create a bundle called temp or a holding place and just drop things in there so that you've got them. That's honestly probably the simplest. If you want me to show you the not so simple way, what you can do is you can right click on this video and get copy the video URL. Okay, so what you're doing is you're saying get that address for that video. You can come back and say add a new YouTube video, paste it here, and click get info, and it's going to say that we already have that video, but it's going to kick it over into your stuff when you do that. I guess that wasn't as hard as I was making it seem, so it's really not bad. So that it says this item's already exists, it's been added to your stuff, and you can view the item.
But the easier way would just be to create a bundle.
It's almost 6s, yeah, it's about 2 clicks either way. Yeah, but yeah, you can definitely do, kind of like Pinterest, you could do your own little Pinterest bundle and just add things in there that you see, and then you'd have them, so.
My favorite word.
Exactly, yep. Okay? Excellent. Other questions?
One more time, just that,
The whole thing?
just the second part for
Okay.
how it just puts it into your.
Okay. So what I
and then
did
copy the URL part.
is so I found the video that I wanted,
Okay.
and then instead of left clicking to play it, I right clicked and then said copy this video's URL.
Okay, and then where do you go from there?
Okay, and then I came back up here to add a new YouTube video.
Okay, mine doesn't say that, how do I get it to say that?
Could you also go directly to my.
Maximize your screen. Click that,
It is.
and it's not there.
That's why I was trying to do it while you were doing it, I just found a video that I just did while you were doing it. So I copied the URL.
Oh, right here.
Oh, right there, okay.
Stuff, could you also go to my stuff and add it there?
Yeah, yeah,
Copy
absolutely.
the video URL.
Mm-hmm. And then just paste the video right there, just like you're getting it off of YouTube.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And then click on get info. Yeah. So then all we're doing is we're saying, even though we know that video's already there, we're just saying add that video, and it'll automatically put it into your stuff. Okay. Okay, but you're right, you could do the same thing. Under your stuff, you can come down here to add, and do a YouTube video, and do it the same way. Okay. And then we also yesterday talked about the files with, or sorry, the labels with your stuff. Was everybody comfortable with the labels? To try to keep your stuff organized. So here, if you notice, we're looking at all of the stuff that's in my stuff, and some of them have labels on them. Okay, if I want to more effectively use those labels, then I just can apply a filter to them. So if I say, okay, I just want to see my stuff that has teaching with tech, then I can click on that one. And now, instead of seeing all of my stuff, all I'm seeing are the things that have teaching with tech listed on them. Okay. And then I can even apply a secondary label and say, just show me everything that has teaching with tech and discovery on it. And it will filter down to just things with both of those tags. Okay, so again, instead of putting things into folders, and so if you're putting it in a folder, you can say, take this item, stick it in a folder, and that's the only place it can ever be. Instead of doing that, they're saying stick a label on them, and you can have multiple labels. And so you can just find the ones that match this label or that label or both labels. So it's a little more effective way to keep things organized. because you could have things really in multiple groups that way, or apply multiple groups to one
Can I
selection.
ask you something else here real quick?
Mhm.
I know you've answered this, but
That's
there's
okay.
so much going through my brain.
There's a lot.
That I'm not sure now again, if I want this, this is off my SkyDrive, but I wanna get it into Big Office, and I just can't.
Okay. Okay, so are you okay if I just share that with the class? So the question was, just to review again, if I have a file, okay, and here's a file we can use. It's this Word app one. Actually, let me just close that. So we're at the same view. Okay, so I have this document from NNU that again has our class information for registering. And I want to share that out with our class so that you can have access to that information so you can register for the credit, okay? How can I share, what's the most effective way to share that with you? So what we want to do is add that into My Big Campus so that you can pull it up. So you really have two options. First one is you can take that Word document, you can download it to your computer, at which point it really is saved as a Word document, and then you can go to My Big Campus and add it back up as a file, okay? If I do that, what program would you need to have installed on a computer to read it? If I go that way. So if I download it as a Word document and then upload it as a file to My Big Campus, then you would have to have what to be able to read that? Word. Yep, so you'd have to have Word installed somewhere. If instead I just want to share it as a link, and that way if anything changes or updates, or if you don't have Word you can still see it, then you can check on it, you can click on share, you can click on get a link, okay, and then I can give you a view only link, and then I can post that link as an announcement in My Big Campus, or I can post it even as a web page resource in My Big Campus. So I'll just go ahead and shorten that, and we'll copy that address. Okay, and then in My Big Campus, I could do, if I wanted to, I could say add a website, okay, and post it as a website, okay? And the reason I can post that Word document as a website is that's what SkyDrive does, is it allows us to really see a Word document as a web page, okay? Now when I click Get Info, it's not really going to have any information about that document because it's not a true web page. So it's going to come up with this message saying it can't find a valid page, but if the address is correct, fill in the details. Okay, and again, the reason for that is when somebody actually creates a true web page, like this one. That's a very good example. We'll go with it though. Let me do a real one. Let's go to our district web page for a second. Okay, so when somebody actually creates a web page, then there is information that goes with that. So if you notice here, you can't really see it, but it has a title for this web page right here, and then there's information that goes with that. And so when you add that into My Big Campus, again, that's what it's filling this information with. But really, we haven't done that. We're just doing a Word document, so it's not finding any information about that document. So we just have to come in and fill it in by ourselves. And then once you do that, you can add it as a web page, okay? Or if you don't want to go to all that work, then really all you have to do to share that is think about which group do you want to post it to, and you can just post it as a link. So I can come here to Teaching with Tech. I could do an announcement and just paste that address, okay? And now there's a link to it that people can access.
So it's put in bundle, to get it into your bundle.
Okay, so if you want to do it in your bundle, so as a bundle you'll want to, you would want to add it as a web page then. Well, actually there's still a couple ways you could do it. Let's pull up our Teaching with Tech, okay? So I could, if I added it under my stuff, then it could be there's a web page. But one other option you could actually have is if I edit this, if that's going to let me do it or not. Okay, so that worked too. Did you see what I did there? So on your bundle, you could do the edit text, and you could just paste a link to that website if you wanted, and it'll turn it into a link so that that's clickable. Or if you wanted to add it as a website into your stuff, you could add it that way as well. Okay. Okay. Okay, how are we doing? So far so good for our review? Anything else on videos or My Big Campus? Yeah, Bree?
So if I have a document
Mm-hmm.
I just want to
Yep, okay. So let's go with what I think is the best way to do that. So the first thing you'll want to do is to bring a document over from SkyDrive and put it into your bundle. I'm still trying to think of. Okay, let's just take that whole thing back one step. Okay. Okay, so you've got a document. Okay, and you want to add. You want that document to be down here in your bundle. Okay, so really, does anybody remember from yesterday? What's the first question that we should ask when we want to share a document? We talked about it yesterday morning, and there's kind of a real fundamental question to ask. What's that? Excellent. PDF or Office? Do I want people to be able to edit that document, or do I want it just to be read only? And that's. It may not seem like a big deal, but that will really decide what we do with it from that point forward. So, do you want? So it's a Word document, I'm guessing. Okay. So do you want people to be able to go in and type on it or not type on it? Okay, so that's a good question too. So yeah, there's really. So. Yeah, and Kareen's got a great point. So not only her audience, but let's say that she knows she wants to update that link down the road. So she changes it to a PDF, then she's going to have to go through that whole process of updating it. So I'd say right now she probably wants to leave it in an editable format, okay? Which means we're going to share it as a SkyDrive document, okay? If she weren't doing that, then it might be better to switch it to a PDF and upload it as a PDF. But we know we've got a SkyDrive document, okay? So now we want to do.
PDF is the edit.
No, the PDF is you can't make any changes. So really that's going to stay in Word format. Okay. So to share that, then we want to do the share and get a link. Well, yeah. Okay. Okay. So if you have a document on SkyDrive and you know that that's something that you might want to go back and change or update and still have that link work for your students, then you'll, from SkyDrive, you'll go to share that document and get a link for it. Okay, so just like we did here, I'm going to share this document, share, get a link. I don't want my viewers to be able to edit it, but I want to be able to edit it. So I'm going to use this top one of view only and get that link. Yeah, so you can still edit it, but the people when they access it on the internet won't be able to.
So you get view and edit?
No, I'm up in the top one that's view only. Yeah, that very first box. Okay, so now I've got the address. So I shared, I got a link, and then I copied the URL. Okay. And then, okay, so now I've got it copied. So now I just want to go to My Big Campus. Okay, and I'll probably just start with my stuff. That's probably going to be the simplest. So I'll click on Your Stuff, and then under Your Stuff, I'm going to say Add. And now this is definitely a little bit tricky because normally we're going to think that a Word document, I'm doing Word, it's a file. But because we're not uploading it from our computer or getting it off of the internet, we're treating it like it's a website. So we're going to add a website. We'll paste that URL there. Okay, and again, even though I know there's not going to be any information that comes in, if I don't click this Get Info button, it's going to give me an error at the bottom. Okay, so now I get that little message. It says you can't find it, but I know that address is correct because I just copied and pasted it. So I just want to give it a name now. So I want to name and just go through and fill out these boxes quick. So this is our NNU registration information. And you do have to do all the boxes. We found that out the hard way yesterday. Okay, I can give it a tag. Even the tag it's requiring you to fill out. Okay, give it a category. Okay, and then I can click on Add. Okay, so this is what I get. And again, this isn't really typical because what My Big Campus wants to do is it wants to, again, go out and find that web page and bring a picture of that web page in. So if I were to add this website, our district website, you would actually see a little snapshot of the district website. Sorry, where am I? Here. But because it's hitting SkyDrive, that's the picture you're going to get. But it's not a huge deal. Okay, so now it's there. And if I click on it, it'll actually take me to that document. Okay. So now I've got it shared correctly. And so from there, I can just click on Add to Bundle and put it in the bundle I want to keep it in. Okay. Did that help? I appreciate that question. I think this would be a good one for me to do a little step-by-step document on it. So.
Yeah, that would.
Okay, now I have another question. If we want to do, share things that we created between, the grade level teachers, is this basically what we would do is make a group and then download things from our SkyDrive that way?
So you have a couple of options. So if you have like grade level documents that you want to work on together, you could actually, you don't even necessarily have to bring them into My Big Campus. You could, but just inside of SkyDrive, that's where you can take this one and you can share it. And so, okay, now I'm sharing with these other two teachers. You can send that email and share it with them, and you can check whether you want them to be able to edit it. So now it's in the cloud, and all three of you could log in and edit that document.
Just from the cloud instead of having to bring it in?
Yep. And that's kind of the nice thing is you can have that resource in My Big Campus, but you'd just be editing it in SkyDrive. So as soon as somebody saves the changes, if somebody clicks on that link in My Big Campus, they would see the newest changes that were made to it.
So change, save, because a lot of documents that we share have our individual names on it, and they take them and put their names in them, but then it would change it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So if so that's something to think about. You might either have all of your names on it, or just do the multiple copies of it. I mean, you can share it out, and then they could save it themselves. So.
So if I just send
Yep. Yeah, so really the only reason I'm pasting it or sending it to my big campus is because I don't want to do 30 different emails here. But if I'm just sharing it with 1 or 2 other people, this is a much more efficient way to share that document. And then, and kind of depending on an answer that we'll talk about here, there's actually even a way that you can share whole folders with people so that you have that same folder and everything in that document everybody has access to.
Okay, so here's another question on that one. Suppose that it's like a lesson that you put together with a video and, you know, the easy teach stuff or the widgets or something. Would you still say that, I mean, is it still in SkyDrive or is it something that you would do a group thing so that you could post it on my big campuses?
So, okay, so you have a collection of items.
Right, like the bundle that I'm doing for my lesson.
Okay. Okay.
On geo shapes and stuff.
Mhm.
So I found a game, I found a video, we have our worksheet, I wanna do a little timer thing, some stuff with the easy teach, but I wanna share that with them, so they don't have to spend the
Excellent.
time doing that and have them do a different one.
Good. So here inside of my big campus with your bundles, which I think is a great feature, they must have had some teachers working with them to think about doing it this way. I must have to go back. This one? Okay, I just have to log into my big campus again. I lost it up there. So inside of my big campus, with a bundle, and this is specific to bundles, but if I come down here and I grab one of my bundles, okay, then I can, when you edit the bundle, okay, so if you want to edit it, down here we have this collaborators option. So that's a way that you could share that with other teachers in your grade level and
You have to go up to the edit and do the edit button.
okay. So I just did a search for Kareen, and I could add Kareen and make her a collaborator with it. So now she would have access to that in her bundles as well.
That's way cool.
Okay, so that's a great way to put units together at a grade level and even across the district. We can have teachers, I mean, all of our 4th grade teachers could put together an Idaho history bundle or a Lewis and Clark bundle.
So when you hit search, then do all the names come up to my big campus?
In our district, all of our district users, yep.
So I can start typing a name and then.
Yep. Yep, that would just be limited to people in our inside of our district.
You just have to put their name in there and that's it, nothing else.
Yeah, just so you just start typing in the name, hit search, and then it'll pop up all the people that beat that.
Okay, so then you
Name.
send it to them?
No, you just add them, and when you save it, then when they logged into their, let's just see what happens on yours here. So I'm gonna hit that, I'm gonna save it. Okay, so now when Kareen logs in under her bundles, hopefully she should see one called PLCs.
So people can add things to my bundle then. It goes right into your bundle.
Well, so then you get a new bundle. So if somebody shared a bundle with you, did that work, Kareen? Okay. Okay, so now when Kareen logs in, she has a new bundle there called PLCs, okay? And so she can now click on that and edit it, and she can add things to it. So when you share it, you're definitely opening it up so that somebody else can add things to it, delete things from it. They could even delete the entire bundle. So just, yeah, I definitely want to let people know and make sure that they understand what they're doing with it, or else you could lose some work with them. No. Yeah, so when you add a website, and it comes up with that thumbnail, you're stuck with the thumbnail. They're just they're figuring out the best picture for that website, so unfortunately you can't do much with it. Okay?
I have another question for you.
And then if I want to kick somebody out of my bundle, I can do the same thing. Okay, so I can click on my collaborators and kick them out. Okay, other questions? Yes.
When are they going to have all the new people in? It's like we've got a new teacher, so when will she be?
So that's
Was just hired.
yeah. So
Yeah, September.
the overall process, just in general, is when somebody new gets hired, they go to the board for approval, and then HR has to process all their paperwork, and that automatically creates computer accounts for them. Now theoretically, when we automatically create a computer account, they should automatically get a My Big Campus account, but My Big Campus has been a little bit quirky, and so if they don't have it by the start of school, if you email Joe Tamayo or Cliff Wade, we can add them in. Okay, so it's 9:30, let's talk for a minute, because I'm not sure where we want to go. Actually, I need to get one more thing. We'll get it right at 10 o'clock, and then I'll ask my big question. So, okay, the other thing we covered yesterday was discovery streaming. Okay, anybody remember how you get to discovery streaming? Good. So you have to go to SchoolNet. So it's from the State Department, and any teacher tools we get from the State Department from here on out, at least for the foreseeable future, will go through SchoolNet. So that begs another question: how on earth do you get to SchoolNet?
Teacher portal.
Good. So under your district's, under the district homepage, which we've got a d93schools.org, that's probably the quickest way to get there, or under your school's webpage and the teacher portal, there's a link to SchoolNet. That's probably the best way to remember to get there. Okay. So from any school's homepage or the district homepage, from the teacher portal, you can click on SchoolNet. Okay. They changed that since yesterday. Wow. Let's see if this is going to work. I love it when I see a different page from the day before. Huh. So yesterday we had to pick our organization. Apparently the State Department's made some updates since yesterday, because you don't have to. Did anybody else see that? You didn't have to.
Yeah.
So, all
But I
right.
have to register if I'm a new.
So did we not do that? We did that at Sand Creek. Do you remember doing it at Sand
I
Creek?
do, and I just used my,
So-
and I was super would have used my regular,
Your district password,
My district
it
password.
won't work. Because it had to have uppercase and lowercase, and it had to have numbers.
so
So-
should I do this lost my password?
Yeah, so click on lost your password, they'll send a link to you in your email.
I'm like,
Okay. So this gets us into SchoolNet. And again, the primary purpose for SchoolNet was to give us student assessment data, but that was really kind of like their starting point. They're going to start putting more and more things into SchoolNet. So notice they have some links here for teachers on the left, like a link to Khan Academy, some other free resources online. Okay. Okay. They have a link down here to be able to search for standards and materials. Okay. So anyway, there's going to be more and more that will be coming into SchoolNet because it is a multi-million-dollar investment from the Albertsons Foundation. But the one we're mostly worried about or going to talk about is Discovery. So that's this link up here at the top, Discovery Education. Okay, so really, you've got Discovery Education and YouTube now, or My Big Campus, I should say, as two really pretty good options for streaming videos in your classroom. And just to highlight some differences between them, okay? My Big Campus, again, you can take these videos in My Big Campus, and we've seen how you can share those out with your classes, how you can, post multiple ways for students to get to them, and students can get in and log into My Big Campus at home and see those videos, okay, all through My Big Campus. Discovery streaming, as far as the website goes, to be able to get this far into the website, you're going to have to be a teacher. So you couldn't just tell students, go log into Discovery streaming, because students don't have a way to log into that, okay? That being said, there's some things that you can do as a teacher to give students access to the content, which will bring us right back to My Big Campus, okay? So this is their homepage. We didn't talk a whole lot yesterday about the overall thing because honestly I need to get in and spend more time and I'll talk about that here in a minute too. But I think this is going to take just a lot of this would take several hours to cover just by itself with getting teachers familiar with all the tools that are there. But you do have an option to have some folders here, some different resources. So you have some ways that you can organize things in Discovery streaming here. So just a couple of the things they have a writing prompt builder. They do have an online quiz builder like we have in My Big Campus, and a few other things that way. Okay.
Puzzle maker too.
Okay. Where was the puzzle maker?
Down at the, keep going down, right there, off to the left. There's the box.
Oh, down here? So it looks like these are links to outside web pages. So I'm gonna, just so I don't lose my Discovery, I'm gonna right click on this one, open it in a tab. Yeah, so this is actually, oh, it's inside of, so it's one of Discovery's links, okay? So a way that you can do some puzzles for your classes.
Hey Scott, can you wait just a minute and tell me how you did that, so that you keep this open, the Discovery?
Yeah.
So I write,
One more time.
instead of, yeah, you bet. So instead of just clicking on the site, I right clicked on it and told it to open it in a new tab.
Oh.
And then that puts it up here.
I
Did you miss that at the start?
Yeah, because I didn't
Okay.
catch that.
Okay, yeah. I mentioned it at the start, but that's definitely a useful tool for tab browsing. So, okay. Okay, so there's lots of links. I mean, there's a ton of stuff here. Okay, what we mostly talked about yesterday was the Streaming Plus, which is their video library. And again, to find videos, they definitely have a better way of finding videos than you have with YouTube or My Big Campus, because you can search by specific subject areas or by specific grade levels. And you can really start with either one of those and then bring the other one into it. So if I wanted to say, I'm teaching 6th grade, I can click there, but then it still gives me a list of subjects just for 6th grade down here. So I could say, okay, I'm 6th grade, I want to find a social studies video, okay, and world history, American history, ancient civilizations, geography. Okay, so you can start to narrow the topics down. And notice we're still at almost 6,000 different videos on would be available to 6th grade geography. Okay, so now I can continue to narrow it down: cultures, physical systems, places and regions, tools, uses of geography. Okay, and we can keep narrowing it down even more. Okay, communities, culinary culture, ethnic groups, language, rural.
For those of us who are very lineal learners,
For what?
those of us who are really lineal learners,
Yeah. Okay, so here's one on living in ancient Greece.
written down, I'm just getting more and more confused.
Are you?
Yes,
Are you following along with me?
I'm trying.
Okay.
But I'm,
Okay, so all we did was, we're just here on the left hand and just navigating through the different options. We're just kind of clicking inside of these links to try to find the video that would be most pertinent to what we're doing. Okay, but hold on to that
how did you
thought.
get there?
So we were up here at Discovery Streaming. We clicked on the Streaming Plus, and then I picked on a specific grade level.
Streaming Plus, I think. Okay.
Got that? Okay. Yep, so Streaming Plus up here. Then we picked a grade level to teach. So we had 6th through 8th grade. And then I picked social studies and then geography, and I was just kind of clicking through. So you can just kind of click through any one of those and see the videos that are there. Okay, but once you get it close to about where you want to be, and again, we're still at about 1,400 results. Okay, now one nice thing with Discovery is they have the full video here that's about 20 minutes long, but notice it also is broken into 10 segments. And so I can either look at the entire video or I can bring up individual segments. Okay, so here's the entire video, and then here are the 10 different segments that go into that. Okay, and those are all going to be about 2 minutes long now. Okay, so once you have that, again, you can just like my big campus, you have some options to add it to your content so that you have it saved, so you don't have to go through that whole process to find it again. Okay. And you also have options if you want to download that video and save it to a flash drive, save it to your computer, do something like that, so you could then put it into a PowerPoint presentation or show it without having to stream it with your class.
Where does it show that option to?
So what you have.
Just share. Okay.
So, well, you actually have a couple things. So here, notice there's 3 different tabs here on the bottom. The first one is asking your preference on how to stream the video. So that's saying what format you want to stream it in. Probably most of us don't care, and Flash is going to be one of the better ones to stream it, so I'd leave that. Under download type, again, you've got a few options with your downloads. This Windows Media 700 will give you the biggest, highest resolution picture, but it's also going to be the biggest file size. So if I were going to try to do like that 20-minute video in that format, it's probably going to take, I'm guessing, around 500 megabytes of data. So on a typical flash drive, if I have, say, a 4 gig flash drive, I could do about 8 of those videos and it would fill that flash drive up. Okay, but if I'm doing the shorter ones, just the 2-minute segments, then doing them that large won't be an issue at all. But if I actually want to download it, then I have to come over here, and this little link with the arrow on it is the one that will help you download it. Okay. Now I do have a guide posted on my big campus from Discovery to kind of give you some step-by-step directions on that too. So I'll come back and I'll show you that. Okay. But I can click on, let's say I want to do the birthplace of Western civilization. Then I can click on this. That's the download option, and then I can save it. And again, I can then put it on the flash drive, save it to my computer, and I've got it available to, again, put into a PowerPoint, or else I could even just show it by itself. Let's do the whole thing and see how long that's going to take. Yeah, it is 100 megabytes, so it wasn't as big as I thought, but it's still decent size. Okay. Or, so that's the option to download it. Or our third option is we can share it. Okay, and so by sharing it, just like we were sharing our links from SkyDrive, it's giving you a link here. And so once you get that link, knowing what you know about My Big Campus, what can you do with that in My Big Campus? Excellent. So you can add it to a library. So you can add it. Now these ones won't add as a video. Okay, so even though I'm looking at a video up there, it won't pull it in like it pulls in a YouTube video. So I would just need to add it as a web page, but I could put that into a bundle, and then people could click on it, and it'll pull up the web page just like this, and they can view that in My Big Campus. Okay, so let's just go through that process real quick. So I clicked on share. Here's the, so I have the video here, okay? Here's share. And there's actually a lot of different ways to share that. I mean, you could click on any one of those. If you did have your, your Facebook page linked to it, you could do that. You could send it out as an email. You could add it to your favorites in Internet Explorer. But I'm just going to copy and paste our link down here. Okay, so I can copy that, and then I can come to our My Big Campus page.